What if I told you that one woman went from breaking boards as a 6-year-old black belt to breaking the internet as basketball's most fearless warrior, building an empire that nobody saw coming? Drop a Queen Sophie in the comments if you think Sophie Cunningham is the most badass athlete in sports right now. July 27, 2024, Chicago Sky versus Indiana Fever. The arena erupts as Sophie Cunningham struts wearing the most iconic outfit in sports history. Hot girls eat Arby's. 4 words that turn a basketball player into a cultural phenomenon. The WNBA tried to silence her. She got louder and richer instead. They thought they were punishing a role player. What they actually created was the most dangerous brand in women's sports. But this empire, it wasn't built overnight. It was forged in blood, sweat, and years of refusing to be anyone but herself. This story starts 26 years ago with a 2-year-old kid who was already breaking things with her bare hands. 1998, Rockbridge, Missouri. While other toddlers were learning to walk, Sophie Cunningham was learning to fight. At 2 years old, she stepped into her first Taekwondo class. At 6 years old, she earned her black belt. Not some kiddie belt. A real, legitimate black belt that required the kind of discipline most grown adults will never possess. Her parents weren't raising a daughter, they were forging a weapon. The martial arts training wasn't about aggression, it was about channeling it. But the real training ground? The Cunningham family driveway. The Cunningham household operated like a military academy disguised as a family home. Dad Jim, University of Missouri football beast. Mom Paula, javelin throwing warrior. Sister Lindsay, future basketball destroyer. This wasn't a family tree, it was a dynasty of competitors. Sophie and Lindsay's games were legendary neighborhood spectacles. One-on-one basketball until elbows met faces, knees collided, and someone was bleeding. 5-minute timeout. Then right back at it. 1 hour in the driveway always ended up with slamming doors and crying and fighting. But then we only had each other. So 5 minutes later, we'd be like, "You want to go back out there and play?" Most families teach kids to share. The Cunninghams taught conquest. This wasn't dysfunction. It was systematic preparation for a world where second place means nothing. In 2014, Rockbridge High School, the impossible becomes Tuesday afternoon. Starting kicker tears his ACL before playoffs. Coach looks around desperately. Then Sophie Cunningham, basketball star, homecoming queen candidate, raises her hand. "I'll do it." She'd never kicked a football in her life. Didn't matter. Homecoming night, Sophie waves to the crowd in her tiara, then straps on football pads to kick extra points. She became the first female in school history to score for varsity football. This wasn't about football. This was Sophie announcing to the world, "I don't recognize limitations."
University of Missouri. Sophie didn't just play basketball, she rewrote the record books. All-time leading scorer, 2,187 points. 3-time All-SEC first team. Only player in the nation to average 17 points, 200 rebounds, 80 threes, and 150 free throws. But here's what separated Sophie from every other athlete. She simultaneously earned her degree, organized charity events, visited children's hospitals, and laid the groundwork for her broadcasting career. While other players focused solely on basketball, Sophie was building a multimedia empire. The martial arts discipline was paying off. She wasn't just excelling, she was dominating multiple arenas simultaneously. 2019 WNBA draft, Phoenix Mercury, 13th overall pick. Sophie stepped into professional basketball with $47,000 salary and unlimited ambition. But she also brought something the WNBA had never seen. A completely authentic social media presence that refused to fit into anyone's box. Casual photos? Check. Workout pictures? Check. Fashion shoots that looked like Vogue spreads? Double check. Most athletes try to be everything to everyone. Sophie said, "This is who I am. Deal with it." Her Instagram became a masterclass in authentic branding. She wasn't performing femininity or toughness. She was living both simultaneously. For 5 years at Phoenix, Sophie steadily built her reputation as one of the league's most authentic personalities. and reliable shooters, but nobody could have predicted what was about to happen next. January 2025, the move that changed everything. Sophie Cunningham signs with the Indiana Fever. After 5 solid years in Phoenix, this seems like just another roster move. Nobody, not the media, not the fans, not even Sophie herself, could have predicted this would be the decision that launched her into superstardom. But here's what made this different. Sophie was about to become teammates with Caitlin Clark, the most talented and most targeted rookie the WNBA had ever seen. Clark wasn't just bringing her record-breaking skills to Indiana. She was bringing a spotlight so bright it would illuminate everything around her, including the warrior who would become her fiercest protector. When Sophie joined the Fever, she witnessed something that activated every instinct her martial arts training had developed: systematic targeting of a teammate. Caitlin Clark, generational talent, league's biggest draw, was under coordinated attack. Cheap shots, dangerous fouls, referee negligence. Sophie's response wasn't calculated, it was instinctive. She stepped in with hard fouls, absorbed ejections, took penalties, all to send a clear message. If you want to get to Caitlin, you go through me first.
This wasn't just basketball loyalty. This was Sophie living her core principle: protect those who can't protect themselves, regardless of the cost. And the cost was real. Every ejection, every fine, every piece of criticism from media and opposing players. But something magical happened. Every single Indiana Fever fan became a Sophie Cunningham fan. They saw a warrior who would sacrifice her own stats, her own money, her own reputation to protect their favorite player. Sophie had found her people, and they had found their guardian. Sophie kept getting targeted on court. Refs kept missing obvious calls. So she did what she always does: spoke her truth. One TikTok calling out incompetent officiating, 1.3 million views, fans eating up every second of her brutal honesty. WNBA's response? Another massive fine. Sophie's reaction was pure gold. I got fined for this TikTok. I don't know why this is funny to me. Like, okay, you got it, bud. She wasn't just laughing at the penalty. She was laughing because she'd discovered the perfect business model. Get controversial, go viral, get richer. April 2025, Sophie posts a casual TikTok reviewing Arby's food, gives it a solid 9 out of 10. July 2025, she walks into the Chicago Sky game wearing "Hot Girls Eat Arby's" merchandise in a collaborative Instagram post that broke the internet. The response was insane. Arby's official account immediately called her an unapologetic queen. The shirt became the most sought-after piece of sports merchandise in history. This wasn't luck. This was genius-level brand building. Sophie had turned a throwaway food review into a cultural moment that generated millions in publicity for both her and Arby's. She proved something revolutionary. Authenticity isn't just profitable, it's unstoppable. Sophie's most explosive moment came on her podcast, where she delivered unfiltered truth that shook the basketball world.
And it literally pisses me off when people are like, she's not the face of the league.
Who would be?
What?
Sabrina? No.
No, there's really good, well-known people in our league. I'm not discrediting them. We have a lot of badasses in our league.
Yeah.
Hell yeah to that. I'm all for that. But when people try to argue that she's not the face of our league,
Yeah.
or if our league would be where we're at without her, you're dumb as shit.
Yeah.
You're literally dumb as...
No filter, pure authenticity. This wasn't just defending a teammate, this was Sophie refusing to participate in the politics of diminishing excellence. She had become the voice of truth in a league that often preferred comfortable lies. Today, Sophie Cunningham isn't just a basketball player, she's a cultural force. Social media following over 1.7 million across platforms. Cultural impact, immeasurable. Brand partnerships, endless line of opportunities. Wrestling promoters want her. Brands are lined up around the block. Her merchandise sells out instantly. She turned controversy into currency, authenticity into empire. But even icons face battles. Just last week, Sophie suffered a knee injury during a game that has officially ruled her out for the rest of the season. For most players, this would be devastating. For Sophie, It's just another obstacle to bulldoze through. She's already promised fans she'll come back stronger than ever, and knowing her track record, nobody doubts she'll return with a bang. Sophie Cunningham didn't just rise to fame. She rewrote the playbook for what a modern athlete can be. Unapologetically authentic. Never changed for anyone. Multiplied talented. Excelled in every arena she entered. Strategically viral. Turned controversy into cash. Morally courageous. Stood up when it mattered. Culturally relevant. Built beyond sports. From a black belt kid breaking boards to a cultural icon breaking barriers, Sophie proved something revolutionary. You don't succeed by fitting in. You succeed by standing out. Sophie Cunningham's journey from Phoenix Mercury role player to household name isn't just a basketball story. It's a masterclass in personal branding, authentic living, and fearless self-expression. She took every obstacle the league threw at her and turned it into fuel. Every controversy became cultural currency. Every attempt to silence her just made her louder. The woman who started breaking boards at 2 years old is now breaking the internet at 28. And she's just getting started.
What do you think makes Sophie Cunningham so iconic? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let me know what part of her journey inspired you most. Smash that like button if Sophie's story motivates you, subscribe for more epic athlete journeys, and hit that notification bell so you never miss the latest from the world of sports superstars.